Welcome to the 9th episode of our superhero campaign, Marvel is the New Vanguard, Piercing Chaos. We're so excited to be here and start our own Marvel adventure, using the rules from the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game playtest. We're going to jump right into the story, but first, let's have the cast say who they are, who they're playing, and upcoming projects we're working on. And of course, as always, we like to start off with our fantastic DM, Elisa. Elisa, like to talk about yourself?
Hello, sure. I'm Elisa Pearl. I am I forget if it's called narrator or story guide, whatever you want to call it for this adventure. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram, and that's Elisa Pearl. On TikTok, the real Elisa Pearl. Trying to do more TikToks. And here on Twitch at A Piece of Lisa, or if you're watching on YouTube, not there. Just kidding. I'm in YouTube, but I don't really post anything on my channel. But that's all I got for today.
All right, perfect. Next, we're going to make our way over to the wonderful Melee Damage. Like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on.
Hi there, I'm Melee Damage. You can find me on whatever the socials are that you are on /Melee Damage. I'm currently in a green screen void. You're welcome. That is the best place to check and see what I'm doing. I work in film, music, the gaming, obviously. And I have no idea what I'm doing day to day. I just show up and things happen. So check out my socials if you want to keep updated on that. And tonight I will be playing Electra Nachios, the assassin in red.
Oh, that's a title. All right, perfect. Next, we have the wonderful Aki. You'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on. Oh, I think you're muted. Oh, the cat. Is the cat?
The cat is fully in the way.
Oh, yes.
It's right on top of where the mouse is.
Like you all need a guest star?
Yes, we do have a lovely guest star. This is Indiana. Hi, Indiana. You say hi? Or you just want me to scratch your face? Yeah. I'm Aki, and you can find me on social media at Mixed Genie in a Bottle. Currently, this is the only project I'm working on, but keep an eye out for announcements coming about things I'll be working on in the future. Make sure to check me out on Coffee, coffee.com/ShidariAki, same as my Twitch. I post poetry and short stories. And you can get those by subscribing through my coffee tiers. I play Abe Hastings, otherwise known as Captain America, from Universe GB313, the universe that has now been invaded by cats. I don't think they've ever forgotten that they were once worshipped as gods. So what can you do? But yeah, I'm super excited. I can't wait to see what we're all going to get up to today, because boy, oh boy, did we step in it last time.
Yeah, just a little bit. Definitely a unique family reunion, to say the least. Next, we have the wonderful Ree. You'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on.
All right, hello everyone. You can follow me on Twitter and the other various socials at Big Dude Ree. Let's see. By this time, I believe our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle has ended, which means you should definitely go back and rewatch or watch for the first time that whole story, because it was super fun to do. And then you can also find me over on Rerolls for all the other stories I'm telling, including the story that should be revealed by now, unless I'm really off schedule, The Tower, our Majesty Ascension campaign, where we discuss and discover what happened with the Tower of Babel. But tonight, I will be playing Usnavi da Costa, everyone's favorite high-flying speedster, who is apparently not very good at protecting people from high speeds.
No, just pretty much like a Rimac. And of course, next, we have the wonderful Nas Wicked. You'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects you're working on.
I am Nosferatu. I play John, the Ghost Rider from the Noir universe. And I am a bit of a mercenary. I don't plan for stuff. So if you see me somewhere, that's where I am. currently this and Thala Unbound are the only projects I'm a part of. That may change in the future. I don't know. People just invite me to stuff and I show up. That's about it.
All right. Oh, and what are you playing? Oh,
I did say I'm playing John, the Ghost Rider of the Noir universe, who is having not a good time right now.
What you know, the noir universe always has its struggles and tribulations, so it kind of makes sense. As for yours truly, I am Kira858. I play the Sweet Bean Orion, aka Divinity, who had to reveal their secret identity to their parents and team for the first time last episode. Safe to say, it was not easy by any means necessary. I think they prefer dealing with the crystals. Of course, you can be able to find all of our content listed on YouTube at the Cookout TTRPGs, as well as on Twitch here at the Kira858. In terms of future projects, it's already been announced on Twitter, but on Thursday, starting from 9/8, you will see me at Greater Restorations playing in the Expanse universe. So it will be very exciting there. I'll make sure to take a look out. If you ever see the Expanse TV show, they had a TTRPG release for that show, and there's quite a few great individuals that will be part of that cast. So make sure to check us out there. And all of our other content, just make sure to follow us on Twitter at the Kira858, as well as the Cookout TTRPGs. You can find all of our upcoming projects on those social media handles. And with that, I think it's about time we transition over to our wonderful DM, Aliza. Aliza, take it away.
We'll pick back up right where we left off, with many of the party members riding at the top of the large crystal that has started to retract back into a blue energy portal. As you all cross that barrier through the blue, a flash of electric blue pervades your sense of sight. And at first, all you can see is that electric blue, almost as if a flashbulb has temporarily blinded you. But then slowly, your eyes all start to adjust to the vastly different light in this new place. Still grasping onto the end of this massive crystal, a huge jolt threatens to shake you all off of the surface and onto the floor. Roll might if you'd like to try to stay on.
Ooh.
Or agility if you'd like to try to get down safely.
Okay. What's the check?
Target number is, let's see. Target number is 27 for all of you.
Okay, you said might check?
Yep, might if you'd like to hang on, and agility if you'd like to gracefully get down from the crystal without, because you're pretty high up from the ground, probably like 30 feet high.
May I spend a point of karma to re-roll that too to see if I can roll a little higher? Because I'm 1 point away from being able to make the check.
Yeah, go for it.
Sweet.
31 for Usnavi.
Right. And Usnavi.
Yes!
All right.
Yes!
For those.
Let's go!
Wow, that was amazing.
Hell yeah!
So for our podcast listeners, that became from a 2, 6, and a 5 to a 6, 6, and a 5. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Quick question, Aliza. Since I don't need to roll for this mic check, is it possible for me to attempt to try to pick up Electra since I see that she failed, or did she pass?
I also spent a point of karma and re-rolled my 2 to a 4, which I was only 1 point away as well. So that gave
perfect.
Me... GG.
All right, cool. I'm good.
Okay. So those of you who, let's see. So I see that Cap and Divinity stayed on the crystal, right? So that jolt was not enough to knock you off of it. So you're still on.
I believe Electra also passed.
Electra rolled agility though.
Mm-hmm.
So Electra.
Oh, right.
You do a cool like tumble off of the crystal down to the ground. Okay. And then Usnavi, did you roll might or agility?
Usnavi would might. He's just sitting there looking fabulous while it's
Okay.
moving.
So the three of you are looking down. You're now on this sloped surface of the crystal. You can see, if you look to the side along this long length of huge crystal, it looks like it goes down a long ways away from you. And then in the other direction, you are at the end. It's slightly pointy. You're kind of sloped down towards the ground. And down, when you look down, you see Electra, who has just kind of landed on her feet doing a very cool spin tumble thing. Electra,
Superhero.
beneath your feet, you see a thick, clear floor with a layer of some kind of dusty gray material, metal beneath it. And there are some like light long scratches on that metal underneath the plastic floor. What would you like to do?
Like to enact my Reiki spidey senses and see if there's anything about to ambush us by any chance.
Anything about the what?
See if there's anything about to ambush us by any chance.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Go ahead and roll for that. It's it's like a perception check, right? Vigilance.
Oh, it's so far down on my list.
From what I remember, it's like a perception check.
All right, so that would be ego or vigilance.
Vigilance. Unless, wait, let's see what your spidey sense was, what you usually use for it.
Oh, okay. Let me scroll back down to that. Hold on. Sorry.
Yeah.
I was just going to go off of what you said, Aziza. All right. I have edge on initiative and vigilance checks.
Vigilance.
Mhm.
I think then this is a vigilance check, your spidey sense. So yeah, go ahead and do a vigilance check. This is going to be, I'm gonna say routine. Yeah. I think it would be easy if you weren't in this completely foreign environment. So I'm gonna say 23 is your target number.
Right. Fantastic success.
Oh, interesting. You do see something moving above your head. And your brain is trying to interpret what you see. But you look up and there's a bright light really high up, like hundreds and hundreds of feet up. You seem to be in some type of huge, huge space. But blocking that light, kind of casting a shadow on you and the rest of the people on the crystal, is this massive moving object. And there are two what look like pincers coming out of this object. It's hard to see because it's in silhouette exactly what you're looking at, but you do notice that it is retreating away from you all.
Electra will kind of wave her hands back at the others and point up to it.
What is that?
Okay.
You got
Everyone-
me, kid.
Everyone go ahead and roll a vigilance. This will be a perception check. And this will be 25 target.
$45. Yeah, nope.
I'm gonna spend karma. I'm close enough.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm gonna spend karma as well. I'm gonna gamble.
I got a 19.
Gonna gamble.
Two for two? 2 for 2, fam?
Hell yeah! Love to see it.
Yeah.
Yo, this is the
That's
come up
pretty
episode. So for our podcast listeners, Aid went from a 4, 2, and a 6 to a 4, 6, and a 6, which made the 26 over 25. Wow.
Yeah.
Beautifully done.
I know. Roll 20. Please keep this energy.
Keep this energy for reals. All right. What do the rest of you get on that perception check?
I got a 19. There's boom.
Did you not see
22.
anything? What's that? 22?
22 for me.
Okay.
Mhm.
Electra, did you re-roll or are you still riding off of your last? Okay. Then I'm going to say that you all are looking down, but Electra, you're looking up and you point to them. And then you look around you and things are starting to click in a weird way. You look to your right, to your left, spin around, and there is this maybe 100-foot wall all around you, but it's clear. And it's quite far away. It's like a few 100 feet away. It looks like it's made of the same type of thick plastic that the floor is made of. And the floor is like at least 12 inches thick. When you look at the walls and just kind of studying them for a moment, you notice that there are different images and shapes behind it. Like there's a, is that a giant chair? And then you turn and you see, that looks like a massive beaker. And then you turn again and look up at that shape. And now unblocking the light on the ceiling, you see a woman holding tweezers, towering over all of you.
Guys, this isn't good. I think we are in a lab. I think we are in some kind of container. Why is that woman holding tweezers?
Wait, is that?
Would you like to roll vigilance to see her face? See if you
Yeah.
recognize it?
Yeah, definitely. What's my difficulty?
This is going to be, honestly, this is going to be trivial. So 18.
18. Oof. Okay, you say that. Watch
Right.
watch my left card on me. Right here. Nope, I got it.
Got it.
Yes.
Oh, that was almost a 616. You just had to reverse it. Just had to reverse the
Almost.
numbers.
Yeah. Ding dang it, but that's okay. Still a success.
So while sitting on top of this almost like mountain-sized crystal, Aid, you're the first one to see when you look up into this woman's face. She looks just like Dr. Angela Winston.
You guys, Electra's right. We need to figure out a way to get out of here now.
Is there a way out of here?
Just to clarify, you said that there was, well, so we came from the portal. Is the portal still there or no?
You don't see a portal near you.
Okay, so right now we only see that glass that's around us, right?
We're in some kind of petri dish.
I would like to try and melt a hole through the glass with sunlight.
What was that?
I like to try and melt a hole through the glass with my
Okay.
powers. I don't know what the role for that is. That wasn't in the handbook I was given.
Well, let's look at your powers. All right. So Uznavi, you have energy beam, a beam of solar energy to inflict physical energy damage, which probably would be able to melt plastic. Ranged physical energy.
Is known for melting really well.
I just realized that because I have heightened senses, I had edge on that check. So I re-rolled my 1 for a 4. I'm still successful, but like that's the exact same roll as the last one.
Mm-hmm. 466. Yeah, Uznavi, I would say you could use, yeah, let's try one of your energy powers. Which one? You have 3, right? Actually, you have 4. You have supernova as well. Any one of
Let's
those.
go with a beam. Just gonna kind of concentrate sunlight out of his finger and just trying to make a circle, or I guess a door.
Okay. All right. And this is agility for you, right?
Yep, range that. Yep. I will roll it.
Okay, so the target number is going to be 29.
Oh, my dice flew all over there. All right, 4, 1, 2. So that is a fantastic success, I believe. 6, 7 plus 21, 28.
All right. Oh. So you force solar energy through your arm, through the tip of your finger down towards the floor, and it just fizzes out. It has no effect
This is
on
annoying.
the plastic.
Trinity, can you break a hole in this place?
I could try. Hey, you
Don't
see.
do too much.
All right, and you see them just rush forward, kind of like flying towards the end of the beaker, I guess they're in, and they're just going to unleash a mighty punch. Well, let's see. Actually, I do have some powers for this. You know what? They're going to go ahead and use smash.
Okay, what does that do?
So smash, this was my first time actually hitting something because they always hold back. They just like to throw people. And so smash, the character makes a fight attack with edge. If the attack succeeds, the enemy takes the normal damage plus additional damage equal to the model focus spent. Okay, and I'll go ahead and I'll spend 20 focus.
Okay. All right, so target number is 29. Now, couple of things just to clarify.
Mhm.
The beaker that Electra saw was out beyond the wall. So you do seem to be in some kind of dish here. The closest wall, if you're trying to punch a wall, it's like 300 feet in any direction. But then there is the plastic ground beneath your feet. So if you'd like, what would you like to do? Because you're on top of the crystal. Would you like to jump down and then tell me from there where you'd like to try to hit?
Sorry, just so I could imagine it. Can you repeat that imagery one more time?
Sure. So you all are on top of the crystal, and then about 30 feet down, there's a plastic floor.
Okay.
Which is the bottom of this, container you're all in. 300 feet in any direction is the closest plastic wall.
Okay.
That are about 100 feet high. Beyond the plastic wall, Electra saw a beaker.
Oh, I see. Okay, so they're trying to punch through essentially one of the walls that's like 300 feet away. Wait.
Okay.
Is there a hole in the top?
It seems to be open.
Oh.
The top seems to be open.
Oh, then they'll look towards the others and say, "We could fly up."
Make sure that there's nothing up there first. Is there a rock or whatever, something like that around here?
Let me see if I can find something. And they'll see if they can find like a random object that they could be able to throw through.
Unless it's on your person, there's nothing else in this area.
Yeah, it looks crystal clear around here. Doesn't look to be any items around.
Did you pun on purpose there? Crystal clear.
No, I did not. That was a complete accident. But they'll look over and it says,
We should be fine. If something tries to attack us, I'll take care of it. They'll look towards Electra and Captain America. It says, would you all like a ride?
Just don't take off like a jet and we'll be fine.
Exactly that.
Handled it just fine before. It'll be all right. Just feel the wind. Just lots of wind.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near as fast as Morningstar, so I think we should be fine.
Wonderful. Good to know. Sure, if we're flying, let's fly.
all right. And Divinity well, I guess grab Captain America's and Elektra's hand and essentially fly through the hole at the top.
Okay. So, where do you go? You're flying just directly up and then hovering, or are you trying to fly out of the container?
Out of the container, so we could be able to take a look at our surroundings once we get outside of that, object.
All right, cool. So the four of you fly up off of the floor and the crystal and start to fly away from the crystal towards the edge of this container. If you were to look back, you'd see that this is a long, thin crystal. According to your size, it only looks like 100 feet long. As you fly away from it, you all land on the other side of that 100-foot wall of the container. And here's what you see. So if your back is towards the container, to your right is not just one beaker. Now you can see more clearly multiple beakers. Also some type of contraption with wiring and microchips and things protruding out of it. That's to your right. Straight ahead, the long metal table ends far away from you, like half a mile away from you. And beyond it, you see some kind of like reclining chair, almost like a barber chair, something you'd see at the barbers, except there are restraints on it. No one's sitting in it right now, though. And then to your left, you see what you see at its base, this like black square foundation, pedestal almost. And then as your eyes follow it up, you see what is unmistakably just a huge microscope. The woman, by the way, has walked to another place. You don't see her anymore. Oh, one more thing I should tell you. Also to your right, so past the beakers and wiring, you notice that there is some type of plexiglass. And then it's kind of hard to tell what's beyond that, but there seems like there's a layer of plexiglass and then there's another layer of plexiglass behind that. And then you're not sure what's behind that.
So I know I made fun of Ant-Man a long time ago, but I think we may need his help because we're kind of short right now. We need to get bigger.
Ant-Man?
Yes, Ant-Man can make you smaller, but also make you bigger at the same time. I thought his powers were stupid, but it'd be really helpful right now.
Wouldn't being made bigger and smaller at the same time just make you the original size?
Well, I mean, he can make himself like a giant, but he also makes himself as small as we are right now. So
let's go. I didn't mean to open up a whole can of worms, but let's go. Angela Winston is obviously up to something real weird. So let's see if we can figure out how to stop her.
Elektra would like to check out those wires that you mentioned, if at all possible. What do they look like they're leading to?
Okay. What do they look like they're going into, you said? Okay. From where you're standing, there are some beakers in the way. So to get a clear view, you're going to need to move closer. So you start walking towards the beakers?
100%.
Okay. It's probably like, in human size terms, like a few blocks away. So
can I move fast while being stealthy? Is that a thing I can do? Because I'm also not trying to like cause a scene or anything, but I would like to move quickly towards them as quietly as possible.
yeah. Yeah, I think. Just thinking for a second. Looking at your sheet. Sneaky. You have an edge on agility stealth attacks. Or stealth checks, I should say. Yeah. anyone who's trying to see you or potentially could see you would have disadvantage on their vigilance perception. So go ahead and do an agility check, and this will be this will be 23.
A success.
All right. So with that success on your agility, yes, you're able to dart, hiding first by that 100-foot plastic wall you just escaped, and then hiding behind some of the beakers, and you kind of zigzag your way very quickly over to the contraption with wires and chips coming out of it. Once you're over there, you notice the shape of it. Looks domed. It looks like there is some central structure to it that kind of there's like a strip of that material. You're not quite sure what kind of material. It looks like pretty thick and sturdy material, and then a band around the bottom that top strip connects to, and then lots of wires coming in and out and chips attached to the bands. Oh, and size-wise, it's probably the size of, like, goodness gracious, Disney Hall. Downtown LA Disney Hall.
Is it just like the wires are inside of it? Like it's kind of like a thing that is all attached to itself, or does it itself look like the wires are plugged into something else?
Well, both, really. The wires are kind of coming in and out of the chips and little portals on the band all around, and on the top band too. And then, yeah, there does seem to be a thick cable coming out from one side and heading somewhere off of the table.
I would like to follow that cable.
Okay. So,
I would like to try to follow Electra.
all right, yeah.
I think Divinity is going to more take a absorption of the scenery, because they're not really sure exactly if this is like it looks like a lab. It looks like something they've seen off of Dexter's laboratory, but they're not 100% sure. Also, one quick question. I know we're like tiny, but I was wondering, classification wise, if we were going to go by a character sheet, exactly what is our actual size? Like, is it considered small, diminutive, minute, or like the lowest, like tiny?
I'm gonna look at this chart real quick.
Okay.
Oh, none of these.
None of these?
You're way less than
Even
the
tiny?
smallest one, yeah.
Wow.
We truly like the size of the cells.
Oh, we're okay. Good to know.
Wait, I didn't quite hear what you said, Aki. What was that?
We're basically cells, like the size of cells. We're just little bitty things.
Your little bitty things. I would say in relation to the room around you, it's like maybe you're the size of a gnat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm even faster.
Honey, I shrunk the heroes.
Ant-Man. So we're all Ant-Man now.
Yeah. I would like. Can we see where the doctor went to from where we are? Like, is there like an open door or something?
You don't see her in the room, but yeah, if you look around, so there was the beaker direction and the wiring that Electra and now Ada are on in that direction. There's a chair, that like reclining kind of barbershop chair, to the left of the wiring, and to the right of the wiring, off of this table that you're on, there does seem to be a door. It is closed.
Okay, I would like to fly into the air to the very highest point and just look over everything from up there and see what I see.
Okay, do another vigilance check, and then while you're doing that, Electra and Aid. Electra, you get to the back of this band thing, which looks like some type of helmet. Huge helmet. You get to the back of it where that thick cable is sticking out, and this is the type of cable that looks like it's wrapped in some type of insulating rubber material. And that rubber cable continues all the way to the end of the table and then drops off. And as you're inspecting this, Aid catches up to you.
I look at Aid and I point down at where the cable drops off over the side of the table, and I'm like, we could try to climb down.
We could try, or I guess we could get the other two's attention. They could fly us down. Probably safer than trying to climb.
That would be the easy way to do things. And Electra's going to take her size and cross them like around the wire and slide down.
Okay. Do your size have rubber handles?
They are metal, but they are not sharp. The handles of size are actually meant for linking onto things, believe it or not.
Interesting. So the handles are, it's all just metal. Yeah.
It's metal, but only the actual blade point itself is sharp.
Right. Okay. So Electra, you start to climb down with your size.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Describe to me how you're trying to climb down.
Because they are like this, she's going to link around the wire so that they're kind of like holding it and hugging it. And she's going to use that kind of almost like a climbing hook to.
Got it. You're not like piercing this. Okay. That's why I was asking about the metal. Okay, great. Good girl.
Captain America will kind of roll their eyes and pull their compound bow from their back and like shoot an arrow into the table or something like that, like attached to a rope or something, and just kind of start rappelling down, because they have trick arrows.
Oh, so this trick arrow, just so this is minutia, but the table is metal.
Well, then they might try to like tie the arrow like around the cable to kind of like, it doesn't have to be trick arrows, but they like basically to tie the cable off so that they can follow.
Okay, so
down.
Doing a similar like shimmy down.
Yeah.
Like someone, the way people climb up, like lumberjacks climb up trees like that.
Yeah, exactly.
You both are kind of like shimmying down this cable. And then Usnavi, what did you get on your perception check?
Oh, you're muted.
27.
Okay. This was, I think I said 23. What was the target number?
You didn't give a target number.
I didn't give. Okay, it would have been 23. So yeah, with that 27, you fly up and you're hovering. Now you're kind of at the level of where the lens of the microscope is, and you see that there is a petri dish. Oh, sorry, not a petri dish. I'm forgetting my chemistry terms or biology terms. A film
Slide.
Slide. Thank you. Yeah, a slide on it. I'll give you two things. Number one, you actually see, you get a better view of the door now, and you can see that there is some type of pad, like the kind that like you would press an access card onto, and there's a little red light in one of the corners of that pad. That seems to be connected to the door. Door has no windows. Again, you see from the door going back to your left towards where your friends are, there's just solid wall, and then it turns to plexiglass. And now from your angle, you actually can see that there is that layer of plexiglass that's really thick in this room. And then there's a little bit of space, and then another layer of plexiglass, almost like there's a hallway, and then another laboratory room on the other side of the plexiglass. Oh, and when you swing back the microscope, you see, shockingly, what I think everyone knows what a tardigrade looks like. A water bear.
Mm-hmm.
You see a water bear. It is, compared to you, it is massive.
It's in the slide, is that correct?
Yeah, it's on the slide.
Okay. I will attempt to go and inspect the thingy on the door, the mechanical part of the door with the card swipe on it, the security code.
Okay.
I don't know what, I can't think of the word for that. But I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna see if I can mess with that to see if I can get it open.
Okay. So you head over there. And actually, at this point, we're going to switch over to back at the Pocket Dimension home base. John, your teammates left just, was it just a few hours ago? Several hours ago at this point, on a hunch, on a lead. You haven't heard back from them, but you have taken this time at the home base to kind of regroup. You had a kind of jarring episode not too long ago with Mephisto, who, as you know, and as many of our viewers might know, Mephisto is the one who endowed or who owns the Ghost Rider spirit. And that is this one of the two spirits that John is inhabited by. Mephisto was kind of looking to get John back in line. It did not go well. But Mephisto kind of dinged John up a little bit, at least psychologically. So, John, where do we find you in the Pocket Dimension right now?
He's probably in his little spot trying to draw, but it's probably not going well.
Yeah. What do you have an idea of what you're trying to draw? Is there a model somewhere nearby, like a physical bowl of fruit or something?
He's probably just going what comes to his with what goes through his mind, but again, it's not really lending itself to anything. It's almost like he's trying to refocus himself, but it's not really working. And he probably got frustrated a couple of times, so there is like a few crumpled papers around the spot.
Yeah. The latest version, actually, I'm going to say, I want you to describe the latest version of the picture you're drawing, but I'll describe some of the crumpled up papers. If our 616 viewers were here in this room and were to uncrumple some of those previous drawings, some of them have a tall man in a cowboy hat with glowing red eyes and a shadowy presence. Some of them are just streaks and streaks of black charcoal. Some of them look like flames engulfing a car. And what does the current picture look like?
The current picture probably resembles barbed wire. That's the one thing that's been on his mind pretty much ever since he got possessed. It's, well, barbed wire, mud, rain, all of those things kind of connected together and have become much more potent ever since this new arrangement that he found himself in.
Okay. Yeah. So here you are you're in the art room, right? There's the workshop art room downstairs. Okay. Yeah. So John is trying to get out some feelings and thoughts through art. And you hear, or I should say sense, really, because you're not hearing it with your ears, but you sense a knocking on an inner door. Someone who you have been able to bury in your subconscious for the past 6 hours is pushing against that door, trying to get your attention.
He's probably going to try to suppress it at first, kind of not wanting to deal with either of them, honestly.
Yeah.
So he's probably gonna try to draw a little harder, but it's probably not helping if the knocking insists.
Yeah, they are persistent, those two. I think I'm gonna have you do an ego check to see if you can continue to hold them at bay.
Oh, fun.
How fun. Okay, so actually, I wonder if they would roll against your ego defense.
Go.
Yeah, I will have them roll against your ego defense.
What's the target number?
So I'm gonna roll. They're rolling against your ego defense.
Which is 25, I think.
Yeah, you're able to keep them at bay for a little longer.
Huh.
And so that knocking stops. And once again, your mind is silent and you focus on the canvas again. And it's almost like a victory for you, but you know that they're just going to keep trying to get out.
It's like it's a weird feeling that he's feeling right now because he knows he should deal with this, but he kind of doesn't want to, or at least he doesn't want to deal with one of them specifically.
John, if you had a go-to meal that everyone at the home base would have seen you eat on occasion, what would it be?
Good question. What did people eat in the 30s?
I don't know why, but for some reason, like canned beans come to mind.
Oh yeah, for sure. They were probably
like
just coming out of.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of canned food was probably, and mashed potatoes, meatloaf, that kind of thing.
Yeah, meatloaf.
Probably meatloaf.
Okay.
He seems like a meatloaf kind of guy.
Yeah, I can see that. Coming down the ramp from the upper level, you see America Chavez holding a plate. And you smell the meatloaf as she enters your art room. She says,
kind of like the, as he smells it, just,
hey.
What is it?
Sorry, I know you're brooding or whatever. I made some meatloaf because you haven't eaten in a long, long time.
It's kind of difficult remembering to eat.
Yeah.
And he kind of just stands up, walks over, kind of thinks for a second. Would you believe me if I told you that I don't actually need to eat?
Yeah, I would believe that.
I actually been thinking a lot while I was here, and I think someone should hear this. I don't know how the others would react, but kind of stops again and speaks to Meatloaf. Says, technically I'm dead. And I don't mean presumed dead. I mean a walking corpse.
Oh.
And I didn't tell anybody.
You're so you're like reanimated corpse?
Probably reanimated. I don't know how it works.
Do you have a pulse?
Sometimes it's weird. But I know I died. I just got shot, and then I found myself lying in mud, stumbling around, no one around me, just not even sound, just mud and nothing else. And then she found me, and we made a deal. And after that, the other guy found us looking for refuge. And I guess she saw a way to get back at Mephisto, so that's how I ended up like this. Kind of motions at himself. Nah. Can you confirm something for me?
I can try.
The reason you picked me for this team, I'm not dumb. I know there are other people like me, but I have this feeling that you picked me for this team specifically because whatever this skeleton is, I have a feeling that he's not supposed to break away from Mephisto. That somehow this one is a bit different than the other ones, considering how badly Mephisto wants him to come back. Am I wrong?
She thinks about that for a second. Honestly, no, that's not why we picked you for this team, Vanguard. We
Why
just,
then?
I mean, I've seen you in action. I've seen what you can do with your chains, your mystical hellfire, your penance stare. Those are really great skills. And also the way you choose to wield those powers. You don't unleash them on anyone who doesn't deserve some kind of justice. That's why we picked you for the team.
I don't know. It's just been... When I look at the rest of them, they are a bit more heroic. Goes to sit down with the meatloaf. And I have no illusions about what I am. Starts eating. Looks at America.
I mean, look, I know teams like the Avengers are all squeaky clean and have these like bright personalities. Well, actually, not all of them do, really, when you get to know them. But I guess my point is like being heroic doesn't mean that you have a squeaky clean conscience. Doesn't mean you don't have some demons that you're wrestling with, metaphorically or literally, like you. So I don't think that makes you any less heroic just because you have a weird, tortured past.
That's the thing. I don't really feel like I should be heroic. I take souls. I hurt people, and somehow I am stuck here thinking about all of this, just replaying the same thing over and over, getting exposed to people from other worlds, and learning of the possible future that my world might have, and never really thought about it until all those crystals started appearing.
Well, whatever time you have left as an undead animated corpse. Maybe you being a part of this team is a chance to have your heroic phase.
That's what you would call it. Something tells me the rest of the people weren't exactly happy to see me either, so, but sometimes it happens.
I trust you.
Oh, that means a lot.
Well, this is here if you want it. And she puts the meatloaf down on your art crafting table with a fork. I know you don't need to eat, but I have seen you eat, so I know you do eat when you want to. So if you want that, it's there.
All right. Thanks. And kind of like starts eating slowly, like to just kind of like enjoy the food at least.
America smiles. All right, I'll be upstairs, still trying to figure out where the crystal went. Oh yeah, it's completely gone now. And earlier, John, you and America watched on America has brought a television set to this home base so that you can tune into different frequencies, catch up on the news of different multiverses. And the multiverse that, let's see, it was multiple multiverses as America was flipping the multiverse channels remote. The crystal just started retracting and no one knows where it went. And that was a few hours ago.
Kind of thinks about it. Kind of sighs and says, "Don't tell me they had something to do with that."
I don't have any evidence otherwise, but they also haven't come back. So, I mean, I figured I'd give them a few more hours before I start to worry. Yeah, I'm sure they're fine. Then she starts to head up the ramp. Let me know if you want anything else.
I will let you know. I might have to deal with something first, though.
Okay. Yeah, let me know if you need a portal anywhere too.
He nods.
All right. She heads up the ramp and out of this area.
When she's out of sight, John is going to go against his better judgment and go inside the Mind Palace to deal with what he knows is coming.
Okay, John. You set the... Did you finish the meatloaf?
Yes.
You set the empty plate and fork down on the table. And closing your eyes, entering that meditative space where you know those two warring spirits reside inside you. And here you are in this mind palace, smoke and fire, walls of it, vaulted ceiling, darkness, smokiness. It's more of an impressionistic space rather than a building with walls and a ceiling. But beyond that, and on the ground, you see dirt. It's actually more clear than it ever has been for you before. After suppressing this area of your psyche for so long, re-entering it now, you're seeing things that you didn't notice before, like the fact that through the fire all around you, this impressionistic, not hot fire, and below your feet, there's dirt and shells, bullet shells. And you see a lost, scuffed up, torn boot lying near you, and a helmet. This ground beneath you is like a battlefield that you once were in.
Picks up the helmet, looks at it, kind from all sides. Is there anything identifying about the helmet?
Yeah. It's pretty clear to see. You don't need to roll a vigilance for this. There's a name on it.
Is it Jones?
Doesn't say John.
Yeah. He knows exactly. It's his old name.
What is that name on the helmet then?
I didn't really think about it, but I think I'm gonna borrow a name of one of my favorite characters and say it's Harry Dubois.
Say that again, please.
Harry Dubois.
Hetty Dubois. Okay.
For some of you in the audience, some of you might know. It's a Disco Elysium reference.
Ah.
Great game, very psychological. That's why I picked it. And he just throws the helmet to the side because, for all intents and purposes, that's not him anymore, is it?
Yeah, coming through that wall of fire and standing about 10 feet from you, forming a triangle with you on either side. The Ghost Rider and the Spirit of Vengeance. And they stand looking at you. She notices the helmet, you looking at it, and she says, "You starting to miss the old days?"
Not really.
I thought maybe you were wishing you didn't have us in here with you anymore. Since you refused to listen to us.
Considering what you put me through last time, I needed a minute.
She looks over at the flaming skeleton making up the third point of the triangle, and it flares in fiery light again, almost as if in response.
Don't give me that look. That is your problem, not mine. I know it's the skeleton.
Oh, I've told him many times since you last talked to us that was his fault. Everything that happened was his fault. He put us in this position. And she looks at the Ghost Rider and says directly to him, "If you weren't here with us, Mephisto would not even know who we were."
He would find out eventually, but
Not if he wasn't a part of us.
I mean, he needs us as just much as we need him.
Well, I could have picked someone else who didn't have another spirit in him. But I chose you, John. And I wish you could choose between us.
That's not how this works. We established this. You need him to do what you need to do. And he needs us to stay away from Mephisto. That was the deal.
What if I don't like the deal anymore?
Is that what it is? You don't like the deal anymore?
I just don't think I'm getting what I wanted out of this. I don't think you are either. He put you in danger.
It's not as if we weren't in danger before.
Not like that.
But at least there were the others, right? That's something.
She looks at the Ghost Rider again. What would you have us do about Mephisto? She asks it. I'm gonna have you answer as the Ghost Rider.
Oh boy. And the Ghost Rider just stands there silently before responding with, "I want him back in hell." Burning
A smile cracks onto the spirit of vengeance's face. And she says, "Oh, you mean vengeance?" Because
The spirit nods.
because maybe instead of being chased by Mephisto all this time, we should have been the ones chasing. I propose a new deal.
John kind of looks at the spirit of vengeance. What?
I say we put Mephisto back in hell for good, so that the three of us can be free to do what we need to do.
Sounds good to me.
She looks at the Ghost Rider. Does he nod?
He nods.
And so a deal is made in the Mind Palace of John. And we're actually going to take our break here. And when we come back, we'll find out what else happens in the lab.
All right. Hope you enjoyed this episode so far. If you like what you see here, make sure to join our Discord, where you should see in the descriptions chat section below. Of course, description if you're watching on YouTube. We have an area for spoilers, non-spoilers, and we love to hear your thoughts about the campaign. We'll be back within 10 to 15 minutes for the second half of our Marvel's The New Vanguard. But until then, farewell for now. Hi. And we are now here for the second half of Marvel's The New Vanguard. So with that, Aliza, take it away.
Okay. So, Elektra and Aide Hastings, you have shimmied your way down this large cable, and you drop to the concrete floor. Looking around, you see very large table legs where you would expect them to be, under the table. You see the pedestal of the chair, that like barbershop type of recliner chair with restraints. The room itself, besides some equipment that was on the table, besides this chair, and then there's also some racks of equipment on the far wall away from the partition, that plexiglass partition. Room is pretty sparse besides those things. The cable continues on the floor and goes over to the back of that chair.
Electra will still follow it as stealthily as she can.
Okay.
Captain America stays under 6.
All right. So the two of you, single file, follow this cable. You get over to the chair, and it's entering the chair at the back towards the bottom. You also notice, now that you're seeing the back of this chair, there's one of those plastics rubber mix covers for cables. So if you have a bunch of cables that are running from here to there in a room, you can buy that cover thing that protects you from tripping over them. You see that. That is now extending from the bottom of the chair towards some of the equipment. And there's a cabinet that it leads into.
Well, that got way more complicated very quickly.
Things usually do. What exactly were you curious about?
I just wanted to get a better picture of what she was doing. Now, here's the thing. Her portals seem to have this like weird kind of aftertaste to them in the air with all of that energy thing. Maybe it's not like a gift that she's got in her head. Maybe it's something artificial or manufactured. Maybe she's figured out a way to trap us in little tiny petri dishes and then siphon from us what we're able to do. I don't know. I'm just trying to piece it all together.
Is that what you think that wired metal dome thing was?
Not
The device by which she might generate portals?
It was a hunch.
Well, I mean, looks to me like it just is a standard power run. Probably plugs in somewhere. Though it's kind of wild to think of something capable of punching through a multiverse just being something you could plug into a wall.
No, you're correct. Again, that's why I'm looking for more.
I understand. I really do think we're too small to get this done in anything resembling a decent amount of time.
That's probably valid. What do you suggest?
I mean, at this point, I don't think that we're going to be able to, where it'll take us ages to climb back up that cable. So we definitely do need to call Morningstar and Divinity over to come help us out. But I mean, it's worth seeing if there's anything we could possibly find that could restore us to our original size, or possibly transport us back to where we came from. We might see if we can figure out how that dome works.
Yeah. I'm sorry to the question. The cord that we followed was coming from the dome, right? It's connecting the dome to the chair. Electra will look over at the chair and look up at the dome and be like, it seems like it's already plugged in. So maybe an on switch somewhere around here.
Maybe on the actual chair.
Right. I guess you want to check the right side. I'll check the left. We'll cover twice as much ground the minimal amount of time.
And Captain America looks up towards the arm rests of the chair, which I imagine are quite far above us, with us being on the ground, or they might be up there.
That, I think, would be a good time if we check around here. Then we can hit up Divinity and Morningstar on the communicators.
Yep, sounds good. All right, I'll take the left side, you take the right.
Deal.
Okay. So the two of you start to climb up this chair to check out the armrest.
Is the chair also metal, or is it made out of wood?
Or is it made out of what, you said?
Wood.
Oh, okay. It doesn't seem to be, well, the pedestal at the bottom seems to be made out of metal, the thing that's connecting it to the floor. And then everything else seems to be a mixture of metal and some type of rubber.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, then I think that since there's rubber involved, Captain America is probably using the tips of their arrows as pigeons to kind of climb up.
All right. Cool. We're going to have you two climb up while we move back over to Usnavi and Divinity. So Usnavi, you were at the door, right? So you get closer to that pad with the light in the corner. You also see above this pad that's probably about just a little bit higher than the door handle. You see a clear plastic case over a keypad.
Okay, can I get to any plugs or any electrical component of the device, or is it completely protected by the case?
Yeah, there's no exposed wiring, if that's what you mean. Sorry, I'm not sure I understood what your question was.
Is the whole thing protected, or is there any like wiring or any part of it that is mechanical? My intent is that I would like to drain it like a battery, so to speak. See if I can pull the energy out of it. So I don't know if what's exposed is a part of that, or if it's all protected by a case.
So the keypad is covered by this plastic sheet, but there is the pad. We called it a proxy card, like in college. It's the thing where you like take your access card and you just tap it, like in I can't think of a good example, but yeah, it's a pad that has some type of sensor in it. You take your card that has a chip in it and you go boop and it will like unlock things. That's what I'm talking about here. That's not covered or protected. It seems like you can just touch that really.
Okay, and then I would like to try and I want to get to the mechanical part of it, so I'm gonna try to burn a hole in it so I can reach all the circuits and all that stuff.
Okay, cool. All right, so you go to this pad, put your hand on it, and which of your powers are you using?
You know what? We'll go with energy wave this time.
Okay, energy wave, which is oh, wrong sheet. That's not you. Usnavi. Too many sheets open. There you are. Okay. So, energy wave. Wave of energy blasts into the character's foe. Ranged attack with an edge at an enemy in line of sight. And then you do ranged physical energy damage. If the attack is fantastic, it would take total double damage. Okay. So you probably would want to move back because this is a ranged attack. So if you fly back a little bit and then you cast out that energy wave, your target number is to blast a hole in this. It's going to be very hard. You're going to need to hit. This is going to be a 31 target number.
Oh wait, I have edge on this one. Hold on.
Yes, you do. If it's an enemy in line of sight, yep. Mm-hmm.
What was the target number?
31.
I got 31.
Ooh, right on the dot. Nice.
That edge helped.
Okay, so you're trying to blast a hole in this?
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Okay.
Melt it down.
So yeah, you're able to, using this energy wave, blast a small hole in the corner of this keypad. And yes, you do see wiring and circuitry inside of it.
All right, I'm gonna reach inside of it and see if I can kind of drain the power from it using my energy absorption.
Okay.
I don't usually do this with electricity, but I'm gonna give it a try.
Mm-hmm. First time for everything. How does your energy absorption work?
He transforms his body completely, and then instead of just pulling the energy from his skin, which is what turns it black, he is can continue pulling it from the area around him.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to focus it on the device, but it's kind of draining everything.
This is interesting because it says the character can take any energy damage done to them, ignore it, and add that number to their focus. In this way, they can increase their focus past their maximum focus. And it also does say this is just can absorb fire, heat, and sun-related things. I'm guessing they mean fire, heat, and sun-related things. So yeah, not quite electricity, but...
I try really hard.
What's that?
Try really hard.
Try really hard. I'm just
counts.
trying to think of what effect this has, like what you're trying to do.
Well, the goal is to either break the door so that way it opens, or that it can't open anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Either one.
You're trying to like short circuit the door, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say, energy absorption is not gonna do that for you.
All right. Well, then I tried to be smart, so I'm just gonna burn everything inside and hope it works.
Yeah, that could short circuit if you overload it with heat. Yeah, that could short circuit. But yeah, I think trying to drain heat out of it.
On this.
Yeah. Okay. So, which one are you gonna do now? One of your energy?
We'll just do we'll just do energy. Yeah, sure. We just do energy blast this time. Why not?
All right.
Why not?
Yeah, now you have tried, you've like used all of your different energy things.
Listen, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so once again, I'm actually gonna do a roll first.
Oh boy. Concerned about this roll? Should be concerned.
Okay. Yeah, all right. So go ahead and make your attack on this with your concentrated energy blast. The difficulty, once again, is going to be 31.
Okay, I have 2 edges on this since it's energy blast.
All right.
For 16 plus 21, 37.
Mm-hmm. Sparks start to fly as you overload the circuitry with heat, the energy of the sun.
All right, well, I'm hoping that'll work, so I'm gonna go and look for Divinity and the others.
Okay. All right. So you fly back over to the table. That's the closest thing to you. And Divinity, what have you been doing?
Oh, so the first thing they've been doing, I think they would have first tried to see if they could get in contact with America Chavez, because they have a portal. I mean, they seem to be able to get to multiple different multiverses. So if perhaps they could get a connection with America Chavez, they could perhaps have a way to be able to get back here in case they need to dip out. So they're going to try to reach out to her first on a communication device.
Okay. Where do you wear your communication device?
Oh, it would be on their wrist.
Okay. All right. You hold your wrist up, take a look at your communication device. You immediately notice that the teal circle of like energy that usually shows that it is on and connected to America's device is not on. There's no teal circle. There's a smaller white circle in the center that shows that you have local range. So you could talk to your companions in this room, but that teal circle, if that's not on, you're not getting multiversal connection.
So we got 3G versus LTE. Okay. So okay. When they notice that, that's a red flag, because now they're not 100% certain if we could be able to get back. So from there, they're going to look. You said there was something inside of the beaker, right? That had pincers?
I'm gonna say I don't think I said that.
Oh, I thought you said. I was like, okay.
The woman was holding tweezers. I think that's what you're talking about, right?
I thought Electra pointed to something that was flying overhead that had like pincers and such.
Yeah, that was the woman's hand.
Oh, okay. Well, that was the woman's hands.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She was pulling away from you all as you were getting your bearings with those pincers.
Was there anything else inside of the beaker besides us?
Oh, you mean the petri dish that you were in?
Yeah, petri dish. Yeah.
Just the crystal.
Just the crystal. Okay. In that case, I think their next best thing is there a computer?
Is there a computer, you said?
Yeah. Is there a computer?
Yes, there does seem to be a device that's inlaid in the wall to the right of the door, but it's dark right now. But you can tell that it's like a screen of some kind. It's just not turned on.
So they're going to essentially try to turn on the computer and see what information they can find.
All right, you flying over there?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna say as you're flying over, Usnavi's probably making their way back, so you kind of meet in the middle.
Mhm.
And then you hear at the door. You hear some light beeps on the other side. Beep, beep. And you hear muffled voices.
Okay, so I might have broken the door. So they probably know someone's in here, but they can't get in for the immediate future. Have we figured out anything else for this?
We can't get out of here via America Chavez. The energy on our communicator that gives a signal to America is off. Only local communication. So if we get out of here, it won't be through America Chavez.
That's not good. It's not good. Okay. That's not good at all. What about Elektra and Captain America? They're usually better at the plans than I am.
Do you have any update on what you're doing out there? Do you need any help, or you need me to pick up the chair?
We don't need the chair to be picked up, but we need to maybe be brought up to the arms to see if we can figure out how to program it. We think we might know how it is that Angela Winston transports things via portal. Might have something to do with that dome thing that's over there on the desk with y'all, and the and this chair. It's connected to this.
Oh, okay. I'll be right over there.
And yeah, they'll fly on over to, I guess, where they're residing, and then provide their elevator lift over to where Usanavi is.
Okay. Now we actually need to. Oh, you are going over to You've met Usnavi kind of floating in the air in the middle of
We don't want to go over to where Usnavi is. We need to go up onto the arms of the chair.
Oh, arms of the chair.
Right. Okay. I couldn't remember if you. We hadn't addressed that. So Usnavi and Divinity are floating in the room. You all are talking through these communicators, catching up. But now let's go back over to the chair. The two of you are on either arm rest, and it's like you're standing on a cliff. It's so high up, almost dizzyingly high up. And you start to look around. So first things first, you don't need a roll to see this, but there are in fact arm restraints at 2 points, one at like the area of the bicep and one on the armrest. Sorry, the area of the bicep on the like main part of the chair, the back of the chair, and then one is on the armrest mid forearm. You see the seat below you with like just like this kind of like black mix of rubber and plastic surface. And that's all you see. Yeah. I don't see any switches up here.
Can Elektra do another vigilance check to see if there is anything that she can see now that she's up at like a higher perspective that might be helpful?
Yep. Yeah, go ahead. This will just be challenging. So 25.
Right. Right on the nose.
All right. Yeah. Right on the nose. Okay. You don't see anything up here, but then you remember that when you were on the ground, you saw that runner of cables that were covered by protective covering. They were leading into a cabinet. And you realize that this cabinet is made of metal. It looks like an industrial type of cabinet, the kind that holds usually some type of device or circuitry.
Elektra will look at the group that's with her and be like, the cabinet, it's got to be the cabinet. I don't see anything from up here. There's That's where the circuits were going.
Yeah, this looks a little bit more like a torture device, and
Yeah, just a little bit.
I've never seen anything like this in my universe.
Let's hope we don't ever see it again.
Yeah.
Well, just
But we're ready to get picked up when y'all are ready to grab us.
So, just to clarify, is this before the time I picked him up, or is this around the same time? Just so I know.
Before.
This was before. Okay. Okay.
This is what they were doing when you were talking to Usnavi before you brought them into the combo.
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, I guess then after that, presumably you want him to take you all to the cabinet area. Okay. Yeah. So they'll grab their hands and take them over to the cabinet.
Okay. Usnavi, are you also heading to the cabinet, or where are you going?
Yeah, I'll go over to the cabinet as well.
Okay. So the four of you convene on top of the cabinet. And looking down on it, there's nothing on its surface, but you can see, just looking over the edge, there is a little keypad on one of the doors. And then on the other side of the seam between the two doors, there's also what looks like a keyhole, like a physical keyhole. And as you all are looking at this and checking it out, figuring out the mechanisms, the door opens. That same woman comes in. This time she has another person behind her. You can hear them arguing. And it's very easy to hear them. You're tiny, but the sound is there. The first woman, the woman who looks like Angela, is saying, I told you I didn't do anything to the door. Can you just fix it and not tell her that this happened? I just don't want to hear her suspecting me of things again. And the other person says, it's fine, doctor. I will take care of it. I'll fix it. I think there was just a short. The door closes behind them. And the second person, you're not quite sure of if they're male or female or not. They just start taking apart the keypad and repairing it and looking at it. Dr. Angela, whichever one of this is, you're not sure yet, goes back over to the table. And she seems to just be looking at the helmet device for the moment. Okay, so back to you all on the cabinet. What would you like to do?
Alexa's going to towards the keyhole and kind of like point, like maybe we should hide in there. We are tiny enough to fit inside of it, right?
Yeah, I was about to ask, are we small enough to fit inside the keyhole?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
All right. So yeah, I
Great
get
minds think alike. Captain America kind of makes eye contact with Electra when she makes that suggestion. It's just like,
okay. Yes. Okay. So, yeah, if you can either fly down the side to the keyhole, it's just like a very sheer, slippery surface so climbing down is probably not your safest bet. But if you want to be fancy and do that, you can.
Yeah, we'll let the friendly flyers.
Get all your Elastic Airline miles of being raked up.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna need everyone to do as you're flying down to the keyhole, do a wow, I'm blanking on agility. Do an agility. This is gonna be a stealth check. Angela is going to roll against all of your. Who has the lowest agility defense?
So we don't have to roll. Angela's rolling against us, correct?
I'm gonna have no. I'm gonna have you all roll.
Okay.
He's
Sorry.
also rolling against the lowest of whoever has the lowest defense score for.
Maybe me, minus 24.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a 26.
Okay. Yeah, I think that then. Okay, 24 it is. And then.
And our difficulty is?
Yeah, your difficulty is going to be 18.
Okay.
So I have a plus 21 on this, so I'm just not gonna roll. It feels good, honestly.
Nah, you know.
I think I might have. Edge on this. Hold on, let me see.
You said 21, right? As the target number?
18.
18 for you all.
18.
Okay, so she got a fantastic failure.
Oh, fantastic failure. Okay.
Yeah, because she got a 1
she
on
would.
Marvel die, but she did
Yeah.
not hit Aide's target number or Aid defense score. So she does not see you. But I'm gonna say for her the fantastic part of her failure. I think one of you dropped something. Or I think a piece of Divinity's cloak got torn on the crystal as you went through the blue. So I'm thinking out loud, y'all wouldn't know this from where you're standing, maybe you would figure it out. But Dr. Angela pauses over the petri dish with the crystal in it, and she bends down. She then takes it over to the microscope, takes the tardigrade slide off, and replaces it, puts the petri dish on the microscope, looks in, and she sees something on the crystal that's kind of interesting. Now, what did you all get?
I got a success.
Okay. All successes,
Mhm.
looks like. All right, great. So yes, you all successfully sneak into the keyhole. Yeah, the keyhole would be bigger than the seams of this cabinet. So yeah, I don't think you're small enough to get between the seams of the cabinet. So yes, the keyhole would be the only place you could fit in. Now, you all, the size of gnats, walk down this keyhole, which is like a hallway, a giant metal hallway with curves of metal jutting out from the ceiling. If you can imagine the metal pins that come down that a key activates as it's pushed in with its ridges. It is an incredible sight to be inside a keyhole, somewhere that you never would have been able to fit in anywhere else, any other time in your life. You kind of take that in.
I feel like I've seen moving pictures about this.
I just saw it in my history book.
History.
What is a moving picture?
Yeah, a history book. They have like how the locks will look on the inside and how a key works.
In a history book? Interesting.
So I guess they were right.
As they look around the site to see. Well, I'm presuming these looks a lot more complicated than those old school keyhole representations that they had back in the old days.
It's kind of like our modern world, like the standard metal key that, the key itself would be a piece of metal with ridges cut on it. And then there are corresponding metal pieces that those ridges push in. And that's what opens the lock. So yeah, it's not like super old timey, but it's also not super technologically advanced, at least this side of the lock. The keypad, you don't know what's going on over there, but yeah.
So do we have a plan for what we do now?
We see if we can figure out what it is that she's using to activate the portals and try to use it to get us the hell out of here. I think we've seen more than enough to have a decent idea of what she's up to, at least a starting point anyway. I don't suppose any of you guys saw any papers lying around.
Did we see any papers?
Papers? No.
Electra
I
has
was
a
busy burning stuff.
Did she see any papers when she was up on the armrest looking around?
Nope.
I think we've got about as much information as we're going to get unless we want to try and get out of this room and do a little bit more exploring. Again, a really difficult task when we're this size.
Agreed. Okay, I guess we'll see what's on the other side of this door.
Is it possible this place is a pocket dimension like America Chavez's?
I think so. That's the only sense it makes for me. Because otherwise, how I looked at and the communicator, we can't even access it. So this must be some type of pocket dimension, perhaps, that they can access to.
Yeah, I mean that's a strong possibility. But that means that she's a lot farther along in her study of America's power than we thought she was. I mean, she is sending what appear to be microscopic crystals into the multiverse, and then has somehow figured out how to bring them all back. But for what reason? That's what I don't get.
Beat her up and find out, I guess. Pretty
I'm
much.
guessing we're walking and talking down the keyhole hall until we hit the if it's a cabinet, I'm guessing that like there are going to be shelves that like kind of present themselves to us as we get inside.
Well,
It's probably really
you're still
dark.
inside the lock.
I'm sorry, one more time.
You're still inside the lock itself.
Yeah, I imagine we were walking and talking.
Yeah. So
And
you can
it's-
see the end of the lock hallway, and there's a big metal wall in front of you.
Oh,
I will tell you this, you don't have to roll vigilance for this. If you look down, yeah, it looks like it goes down somewhere into darkness that perhaps could lead into the cabinet system. You can't see where it's going, and you would have to climb down the metal pieces of the lock to get there, which will take an agility roll from everyone.
I don't suppose any of you can glow,
Yeah, because anyone can anyone cast light?
because I'm pretty sure it's
I will-
black in there.
I can cast I can use illumination. So instead of pulling
Yeah.
light in,
Captain
I
America was
push.
just looking straight at Morningstar when they
Oh,
said
listen.
that.
You know, it's offensive to typecast us based on our powers, all right? But yes,
I mean,
yes, I
you're the
can
one.
brighten myself.
You're the one who literally lights up like the sun. Don't act like me looking at you is somehow like a presumptuous.
No, I've never done it before. But yes, I will. Instead of drawing light in, I will push the light away from me steadily, and I will use illumination, which it illuminates an object or point within 100 yards.
Okay.
I'm glad we don't have anyone in our party named Icarus.
Mhm. You're talking about the boys Icarus? I mean, not
We flew too close to the
So,
sun.
yeah.
oh,
Eternals.
like the Eternals. That I meant the Eternals.
Mm-hmm.
Illumination. You're casting it on an object. You said.
I can do it either on an object or on myself. Either way, doesn't. I don't
Okay.
know what's in this room.
It's just all metal around you. So
I
yeah.
just do it on myself. It's fine.
Okay. Usnavi starts to glow, and you all can now see that yes, this is some. It looks like you're like cave diving down into a metal dungeon almost. Now, again, yes, it's going to be agility. Target number. I think it's difficult. It's not ridiculous or impossible to do this, but it's more than challenging. It's difficult. So 27 for everyone.
Oh, here we go. Let's see.
Wait. So we can't just fly down there?
Nope, because it's not a straight shot. You're still going to have to find your way.
Oh, okay, got it.
Gonna use some karma and re-roll that d6.
Oh, I have advantage on.
You gotta be kidding me!
What? Everyone rolling 6 when they use eggs.
That is the third 6 in a row that I've rolled on karma. Amazing.
I also rolled a 6 for my edge because I have free running, so that.
Hell yeah.
Nice
We have
reflex.
summoned the devil with our 666.
He's,
Here comes Mephisto.
Please do not.
This is the thing. Dear Eliza, if in the event that any of us does roll a 666 in this game, can we just immediately spawn Mephisto? Just for the shits and gigs. Let's do it.
That's your ultimate fantastic success. You summon Mephisto.
Yeah.
God, it's gonna be John.
I rolled a 35.
Okay. Kind of overkill. Just kidding. Yeah,
what I
so
do.
I think it's because you're lit up too. So you can really see your way down this metal maze shaft. And so yeah, you all find a way out of the lock contraption, and thankfully you all cleared it okay with no failures, because you
Wait,
hear
what was the number again?
Huh?
What was the target number again?
Oh, that was 27. Sorry.
All right, we're gonna use edge because I'm at 26.
Didn't make it?
Yeah, I was at 26. That's why I was just like, oh.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, there we go. 665. Okay, we're good. 665.
It's enough.
17.
17. Yes, that'll be 27. Okay, we're good.
Okay, yep. Divinity, you just made it out of the lock system before you hear the scraping of metal up in that metal hallway of the lock. So loud, so loud. And you hear the turning of the lock. And then you hear boop, 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 boop. And daylight starts to flood in as the doors swing open. And you see a giant Dr. Angela standing there, reaching for something in the cabinet. Now, I'm going to say that you all are somewhere on this shelf. Electra, I want you to do your Reiki thing.
Which part of it? The sensing danger nearby thing, or the healing thing?
I think it's more of like, you know what? It's more of an insight check on Angela.
Okay. So would you like me to roll ego vigilance?
Ego.
Not
And target number is going to be 20. 20. Just 20.
Oh Lord, help me. Fantastic success.
Oh.
Ooh. Not only do you feel like she is tired, you also feel like she doesn't want to be here. There is a weariness in her eyes and her body language as she reaches for this, some kind of, almost looks like a screwdriver with two prongs sticking out of the end, kind of curved forward. And there seems to be little pieces of wire pointing towards each other from either side of the prongs, pointing inwards. That's what she picks up off of a shelf.
Am I able to kind of grab on underneath like one of the prongs anywhere and kind of hitch a ride without her seeing me?
You can certainly try.
Yes, I would like to do that.
All right. Now you are going to roll against her because she's not actively looking for you or for anything besides what she has.
And
so,
if this is stealth, I believe she has some sort of disadvantage because I have.
Yes, that's right. Oh yeah, that's right. And I didn't even do that last time. Actually, yeah, I am going to roll for her. So it'll be vigilance perception for her against your agility defense. Is that right?
I believe so.
And then you are, edge on. Oh no, that's where's sneaky? No. Oh yeah. Oh, there it is. So you have an edge on agility stealth. She has a trouble on vigilance perception. Okay. So you're gonna roll. Oh, I don't think I. So your target number is 25. I see a success for Electra. And then Ooh, I see a one on. Nope, that's not on my Marvel die. Never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, she did not. She did not.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hang there and not move, and if I can see any of the rest of the group as I'm like pulling back, I just make the shush face.
Yeah, you all see her being pulled away by this giant woman. Before Angela closes these doors, you all have a moment to look around and see what's inside here with full light. Now, you do see there are some, like the place that she pulled this device from had a little holder in, like, it seems like that was where it was meant to set. You know how like a razor case, sometimes you can put like the razor holder in a little formed pedestal thing. It's like that. It had its own like holder. That's where she got it from. But built into this cabinet is a massive device. And yes, there are switches and all sorts of things that you can turn on and mess with. The power seems to be out right now. Nothing is lit up, but you can see that there are definitely like small light bulbs and things that would power on if it were on. And that's what you see before the cabinet closes. Go ahead, Abe.
Okay. I think that as Abe sees Elektra you're being carried away, yeah. As Captain America kind of clocks that, they immediately look to Morningstar and Divinity and say, one of you should probably follow her so that she has backup if she needs it. Probably you, Divinity. Usnavi, you can help me in here.
Okay, I could do that. I'll be back. Stay safe.
You too.
And they'll fly on out and follow suit.
All right, just as the cabinet door is about to close, Divinity zips out, and you all are back inside this dark cabinet. Now, we're going to follow the two who went out, Divinity and Elektra, for a moment. You are hitching a ride on Dr. Angela's device. She comes over to the desk, the table, and she sets the device down next to the microscope. And you see her turn her gaze over to the other side of the microscope again, where you saw, some of you may have seen her set down the tardigrade. And she picks that up and looks at it. And then she picks up the device, looks at the end of it, and kind of tinkers with some things on the end. What do you all do?
I'm going to continue to observe from where I'm at if I'm still well hidden.
Mm-hmm. And my goal is just to keep an eye out on Elektra. I'm not trying to help with the investigation per se, besides keeping a overview on things. But my primary purpose is just making sure that if they get spotted, they can do something about it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so they're also looking around. They also see the guy fixing things, right? He's like fixing the door, it looks like.
Oh yeah, he finished fixing it.
Oh, he finished fixing. So he left the room already?
Yes.
Okay, so it's just her right now. Oh wait. Is there any windows in this place? There's no windows in this place, right?
Only the plexiglass section of wall.
And
otherwise, no windows to the outside.
And the plexiglass leads to what exactly on it? What can we see on the other side?
You can see a little bit of space, like the small hallway, like maybe 4 feet across, 5 feet across, maybe 4 feet across. And then on the other side of that, another plexiglass, and then another room similar to this one.
So while keeping an eye out on Elektra, they're going to try to fly back to where the plexiglass window is, so they can kind of see what's in the other room, because it's see-through, right? So I should be able to see what is taking place in it. Is it empty? Is there someone chained up to one of those, torture devices like the Princess Bride? Like what? What does it look like in there?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll your vigilance. Target is 25.
Okay.
Actually, 26.
What do you say? Oh, okay. I mean, I would say, oh, like every number I can. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That was a 1 on the marble die. So, you know what? I'm just gonna use edge just to see if I can get that fantastic. What? Ah, close. 6 with a 5. Okay. So that would be 6, 6, 5 is 17. 17 plus 12, 29.
Okay. That does it.
Okay.
So you notice that the chair, the same type of chair that's in this room, it's turned away from you. So you're seeing its back.
Oh.
But now that you're looking directly at it, yeah, you can see that someone is inside it. You can see their arm in the restraint. You also see some other scientist in the other room.
Does it look like Angela Whiston or does it look like somebody different?
You can only see them hunched over the table from kind of the back inside. You can't see because the plexiglass is only a section of the wall. So where the plexiglass ends and the solid wall begins, they're kind of standing kind of right at that crease. So you can just see the back of their lab coat.
Do they have blonde hair at least?
You can't tell.
Oh, I just see the coat? You know, I can. Okay. Oh, okay. Oh, they have to keep Elektra's back. They made a promise to Daredevil, and they promised to give a VC NBA 2K points. So, they're going to keep on this promise. So they're going to fly back to their original position. But the minute that they think Elektra is done, they're going to try to get her attention to see if they can get to the other room.
Okay.
But yeah, so they're going to fly back and just watch over Elektra while she does her thing.
Okay. So, yeah. So Dr. Angela takes the petri dish with the crystal down from the microscope and with the other hand puts the tardigrade, which is wiggling in some liquid. And by the way, actually, whoever wants to can roll logic about the tardigrade. Target number is 21.
21?
Yeah, target number on a logic roll.
You did.
I got a 24.
Oh, what's the fantastic? Oh, fantastic. Wait, what?
I see, Elektra, your first roll.
Everybody?
Was a fantastic failure. Was that you rolling a d6 though for karma?
Yes, and then it came out worse.
Oh no! Oh, I see.
Is this everybody who's meant to roll this, or just Elektra and Divinity?
Actually, anyone. Because you all would have seen. I think everyone would have seen the tardigrade at this point. So yeah, anyone who has seen the tardigrade.
And the target number was 21. You said?
Yep. Logic 21.
Success.
All right, 8.
Man, roll 20 has never been this nice to me before.
Success for Usnavi as well.
I was close, but I mean, logic is not their strong suit, so I'll leave that alone.
How close is it worth? Is it worth spending karma?
Do you think it's worth spending karma, or?
No.
I mean, how close were you?
I was 2 points off.
What karma, dude?
So who got success? So Aid got success. Elektra, you got a fantastic failure. Okay, and then so I don't want you to waste your karma if you don't need it, Divinity. But
okay.
We're fresh on a rest, so like smoke them all out, right?
Oh, I already used quite a bit. I already used like 3 already this session, so I'm good.
Yeah, if you want to. I don't think you really need it in this moment because here's what happens.
I succeeded this one. So.
Okay, cool. So in the cabinet, you two know that this tardigrade is actually not in relative size to the human in the room. The tardigrade is also too big. It's too big. Tardigrades should be smaller than you as gnats. Tardigrades are not visible to the naked eye, and this woman is looking at a tardigrade on a glass slide. So that's weird. So the two of you in the cabinet that's in the back of your minds. The two of you not in the cabinet, not quite thinking that right now, but Electra, you see the tardigrade, you're still hanging on to this device, and she is holding the tardigrade slide, puts it on the mic, the under the microscope, and as she's about to press some buttons on this device, she turns it over. You almost fall off, but with your fantastic failure, I'm going to say, hey, oh my God. She sees you.
Electra looks at her and goes, shh.
You notice immediately she looks up to the corner of the room.
I'll look at what she's looking at.
There's a camera behind some sheer metal, well, not sheer metal, sorry. There's basically like what looks like a reflective mirror surface, rounded in the corner. Must be a camera. Why else would she look exactly in that direction when you told her to not say a thing? So yeah, she looks at the camera and then looks down at you. Tries to act casual, but obviously very tense, sees a tiny woman on her device.
If I can, because I know I'm super tiny, so the camera, if I'm the size of a gnat, is not going to see me.
The camera's not going to see you. It's just...
Can I make it up the device and like up her sleeve to try and get near her ear?
Yeah.
I'd like to do that.
I don't think you need to roll for that. I think I'm going to roll for her to just keep her cool, not freak out and like, ah! I'm going to say resilience, kind of a mental and psychological resilience. Oh, she rolled quite well on that. Yeah. She totally is able to keep her cool and lets you crawl up her lab coat arm sleeve and up near her ear. You also see, before you go into the depths of her sleeve, you see that she has like blonde hair in kind of a curly bob that kind of comes to just above her chin. Very chic, almost like an aging flapper kind of hairstyle.
Electra will turn her communicator on so that the rest of the group can hear what's going on. And she will say into her ear, I know you don't want to be here. In code, can you tell me anything about what's going on?
She sets down the device again and pretends to like be very interested in looking at the tardigrade through the microscope. And she starts to hum and then sing. And she sings, I used to live somewhere else. Don't know how I got here, but some lady came knocking on my door and told me I had to go with her, she'd kill me. She looks out to see if anyone noticed.
Just for my own sake, again, she doesn't look like Angela Winston.
She does. Mm-hmm. This is the same woman.
Okay. Then Electra will also whisper into the communicator. Looks like she strikes again. Electra will also say, do you know where you come from?
I don't know. I don't know.
So when they see them talking from one side, they're going to try to fly around to the other side of the ear, and they're just going to speak into their ear.
Don't be alarmed, but would you like to get out of here? You could write it down on a paper if you like. I can see from here.
They don't let me write things down. Yes, I'd like to get out of here. Who are you people?
Well, we're here to try to take care of a few things and save you. another accident Winston's who is not supposed to be here, and hopefully stop all of this in the process.
Well, all right.
If I break down this door, could you get us out of here?
Oh, I can get out the door just fine.
Oh,
Just stay put. Maybe hit your right at my earlobe or something.
all right. Can you also make us bigger by chance?
Oh, you. The crystal? Is that how you got here?
Yep.
Oh, so you're not just tiny people.
Oh no, I'm much bigger than this normally.
All right, I gotta clean up and then we're gonna go to the only place I can get some privacy here. She picks up the device again and she goes over towards the cabinet, opens it again, same thing, the lock and the buttons, and then using the cover of the door to block her view, the line of sight of the camera, she slips the device into her pocket. But she motions as if she's putting it back in the pedestal. And then she starts to close the cabinet.
Ooh. Oh,
You, Usnavi and Aid, you see this happen. You see her come back, do this kind of switcheroo in the pocket. Split second to do something, either Divinity or Electra or Aid or Usnavi.
Well, I'm gonna full speed
Yeah, I mean,
ahead.
yeah, Aid is just gonna grab onto Snappy and hope they don't come apart.
Okay, you're flying at her? Where are you flying?
Not at her. If she is using a moment to hide something, he is going to take that same moment to hide in the same place, basically.
Oh yeah, in her pocket then. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, you just fly over and you're able to dart into her pocket. And then cabinet doors close and you all are hitching a ride out of this room with a now contacted Dr. Angela Winston. We cut back over to the pocket dimension. John, where do we find you a little bit later in the day?
John is probably fixing his uniform finally.
Fixing how?
You know, making it clean, ironing it, making sure the buttons are, buttoned.
Nice, yeah.
Kind of bit of a actual meditation thing since the things with the other two got settled.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, enjoying the peace of your mind now that the three of you have come to a new agreement, a new deal.
Mm-hmm. And I think he's getting a bit antsy, waiting for the other people at this point. But there isn't really much he can do, since he, for all intents and purposes, doesn't know where they are.
Yeah.
So he'll probably just keep himself busy until something rips him out of this R&R.
Yeah. You are on the top level, the main level of the pocket dimension, ironing and taking care of your uniform. And you're outside the kitchen. There is, I'm imagining there's like a similar circular couch on this level, just like the one downstairs, but this one is on the other side of a wall from the kitchen. And there's this TV that has been brought in from a different dimension and hooked up to multiversal cable. I love Rick and Morty, so this is like my little shout out to like the intergalactic cable network, inter-multiverse cable network. And America is sitting on the couch with Uatu, flipping through the multiversal news network. And she keeps flipping, and then Uatu's like, wait, go back. And she goes back a couple of channels. And there is an interview in T2639 on a local news interview with a blonde woman with dark roots and wearing a beautiful, nicely fitted, like two-piece suit, very chic looking. She's talking about how she believes that teenage heroes, young heroes, should have to wait to fight against supervillains. They should get training. There should be, she talks about how her daughter was killed in battle because she went in too young. And then all of a sudden, some superheroes fly in that you all recognize. And one of them pulls this blonde woman aside, and the camera kind of steps away, points towards the crystal that's retreating down, and then looks back at the woman talking to Divinity. And they have a short conversation. And then more conversation happens. The heroes that are all there hug a couple who I'm not sure John would recognize, Carol Danvers and James Rhodes.
Unlikely. I don't think they exist in his universe.
So you just see like 40-something couple, black man and white woman with blonde buzz cut hair. I think she said buzz cut or a short haircut. They hug Divinity, and Divinity joins the rest of the team, Usnavi, Aid Hastings, and Elektra, into the portal. And America jumps off of the couch. Oh my God! Oh my God! That's why we haven't heard from them. They went into the portal. Where do you think they are? I haven't sensed them. Oh my God. And Uatu says, okay, take a breath. We can find them somehow. And she says, how? How are we supposed to know where that portal leads to? And I can't track them. Their communication devices aren't in range. How are we going to find them? Oh my God. I'm going to call Yamaya. I need Yamaya back here. And she starts to call Yamaya on her communication device. She wanders over into the kitchen to make that call.
I think John is just staring at and I think he might be putting some things together about Divinity, but he's not absolutely sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can sense the parental vibe, and he's just like, And it's just like, oh no. And it just clicks, and the infiltration mission clicks with that one weird kid he suspiciously never seen again. You know that one nephew that suspiciously replaced Divinity.
Like, the more you think about it, actually, go ahead and do a logic roll.
Oh boy.
Target, I think at this point it's going to be easy because you already have most of the clues. 21.
Oh boy, watch me fail this. Logic. It's only 3. What did you say the target number was?
21.
21.
Mm-hmm.
Watch me fail this. Yep. Oh no, I am so spending karma on this.
Okay. You're one away.
So I'm re-rolling the 1.
Yeah, just re-roll that 1.
Yoink, go away. And that's D6.
2.
Right on the buzzer.
Right on the nose. All right. Yeah, it all starts to click in place. You realize, you look at the black man and the white blonde woman, and you're like, yeah, that kid looks like both of them combined. Was that Hulk kid Divinity?
He's just like, hey, America.
Oh, 1 second. Yeah. What's going on, John?
Do you know that Divinity is a kid?
Her eyes widen. Do you know that Divinity's a kid?
Well, now I do. Apparently, they're on TV.
Oh. Right. Yeah, I knew.
Fair enough.
They wanted to keep it a secret. I respected that.
Fair enough. He's not questioning it anymore.
Yeah. I guess their parents know now too. That's gonna be awkward at Thanksgiving.
If only just Thanksgiving.
Huh. Oh my God, will I get to meet Captain Marvel? Uatu looks over at America disdainfully and she looks back. She says, "What? Okay, I might be an adult, but I'm still kind of a teenager. I spent a lot of time in the quantum verse and didn't really grow up. I still am a fangirl sometimes." Anyway, Yamaya is on her way back. I'm gonna portal her in like 20 minutes to give her just some time to say goodbye to her family. And then we gotta figure out how to get them back or where they went to.
Oh, then that's gonna be a thing.
Unless. And you see America kind of like do one of those very cliche, thinking emoji, rubbing her chin with her hand and looking off into the distance as we transition cinematically back to the lab. Now, just like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, you all are hitching a ride on a giant woman out the door. She, now the keypad was fixed, so she flashes her badge onto it, and then by the way, once she flashes her badge to the keypad badge, the red light in the corner turns green. The plastic or clear covering over the keypad flips open. It kind of retracts back into the wall, and she punches in a lot of numbers, like a bunch. The keypad covers itself again. The door clicks open, and she walks through it, closing it behind her. There's a security guard out here, and she says, "Just going to the bathroom." And the security guard nods, bored. You can see that there is another door in this kind of cove. If you can imagine, the door is on that she came out of and that you all came out of is on a diagonal with another door, basically. And there's a security guard kind of standing in between the two doors. So she walks out of this little cove where these two doors are. And unfolding in front of you, you see another door with another keypad and badge pad. You see another type of cabinet of some kind, also kind of looks like very industrial, has much more of a locking mechanism on this one. A big open space with some type of rounded device, almost like, looks kind of like a portaling device of some kind. There's some power hooked up to it, but it seems like it's not fully on right now. And there's also a podium nearby it that seems like a user station of some kind. And as she walks out, she goes into she goes to another doorway that's tucked away on the opposite side of the door from the cabinet, the large cabinet. So away from that big open space with the giant device in the middle of it, she tucks into another corner and tucks into the restroom. She says, "They don't let me lock the door, but I think this is the only place that I won't be watched or monitored. Can you please show yourselves so I know who I'm talking to?
I mean, as best as we can at this size.
Yeah,
Which
divinity.
Fate is essentially saying to themselves because there's no way that she can hear them from
Yeah,
their
true.
pocket.
It just sounds like a.
Divinity will fly towards Electra and just hold out his hand for her to grab it. And if she does, they'll fly to where they're floating right in front of her. And then they'll kind of wave as this.
Hi.
I will slowly fly Captain America up.
Thank you.
Well, hello there. I'm Dr. Angela Winston.
We know.
You know who I am?
Yes. But from what I could tell, you're not one of the ones that want to be here. Is that right?
There's only one Dr. Angela Winston who wants to be here. I can assure you of that.
Which universe are you from?
Universe?
In color?
Are you? What was that?
I'm asking the narrator. Is she in color? Like normal color, or is she like John?
You know, she's slightly not in color. She's not like the full black and white of that universe, but now that you are looking closely at her, her blonde hair looks kind of like a duller type of platinum blonde than yellow blonde.
Your husband misses you and has asked us to try and find you and bring you home.
Oh, my dear. Oh.
He's very concerned.
Oh, I'm sure he is. I just disappeared. I shouldn't have ever gone with her. She said she was my cousin. I should have known better. But that's what I don't understand. Is she my sister? Is she my evil twin or something? I don't understand what's going on.
She's you.
What do you mean she's me?
There's a bunch of you causing problems from different realities. Apparently now, as you're telling us, there is one of you who is in charge. Okay, so look, perhaps if you could get us either back to our regular size or figure out a way to open one of those portals, we might be able to get back to our base. And through that, might be able to take you with us and get you back home. But we're gonna need your cooperation for doing that, and you're gonna have to be strong.
All right. I can be strong. I just don't even know where we are.
We can wager a few guesses, but honestly, I don't think that those guesses will help you too much. I think the only thing that's important now is figuring out how we get you the hell out of here, and everybody else as well.
Are there others who don't want to be here as well?
I'm not allowed to talk to anyone else, but yes, I have seen other people here.
I saw there was a person behind in the other room. I couldn't get a look on their face, but it looks like there was someone chained to a seat. What were they doing in there?
The other woman, the woman who brought me here, Gabrielle, which I'm sure that's not her real name, she said we were doing tests on people who are afflicted with some type of illness. But from what I gather, that's not what we're doing. We are taking some type of energy from them, something. They leave and they're weaker and they don't look too good. And then we funnel it into these different devices, like this one. She pulls out that pronged screwdriver type of thing. And I've been testing this to test it for quality. It's a bit faulty, but I was able to make a small portal, and You came in through that portal then with the crystal?
Correct.
Well, that crystal was gigantic in a different universe.
It must have been if you're this tiny.
Yes. Each one of us has experienced one of these crystals piercing through our realities. We are all from different, what I refer to as universes. And you and all of the other Angela Winstons that are here are similarly from other universes. We just came from the one you belong to.
I think I need to sit down.
That is completely understandable. Your husband said the same thing.
She sits down on the floor. Okay, so there are multiple universes, and I am from one of them. This is probably not the universe I am from, and you're going to help get me back.
We're going to try. We don't know much about how your portals work, except that they are a crude copy of somebody else's abilities.
Well, yes. I wasn't here when they took the powers from whoever can do this, but I helped to filter them into this device. So the thing is, one problem with this portal is this device, portal maker, it's faulty. We want to get it to where we can make bigger and bigger versions of this device and make bigger portals, but even just making small portals, like the fact that it went through so many different multiverses, it's not supposed to do that. I was just testing it to see whether the crystal could withstand the energy field, and it pierced through several multiverses, and it's large. That's what I don't know. So this is very faulty. I wouldn't feel safe sending you through another portal with this, but I don't see any other way out.
I think we all agree with you on that. I mean, I come from a universe where we're pretty technologically savvy, but I don't have an expertise in that myself. And even though there's a risk with it being, as you said, faulty, anywhere is better than here. And with the information we have, we stand a much better chance of figuring out how to get you out of here. If you can send us back through the portal to anywhere.
Yes. All right. I can do that.
But we will come back for you.
Can you give us something that we could take with us? Maybe the person who makes portals could be able to use it as some sort of tracking. So perhaps they could be able to locate the universe if we have something from this universe to track to. Because we believe this is a pocket universe on its own.
You don't have to worry about the size. I'm pretty sure that divinity can carry it, whatever it is.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about that. Okay. She reaches to her right ear, and you notice that she's only been wearing one earring this whole time. And she takes it off and holds it out. And
is it a match to the one that we found in? Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. And divinity will grab it. Like,
thank you.
I'm sorry to laugh, but it's just very funny seeing a tiny, tiny person holding a giant earring.
Oh.
Almost like we have the strength of ants.
I would never make fun of Ant-Man again.
Who's Ant-Man?
See, I'm not the only one.
Oh, you're here for some stories so we get you out of here.
Do y'all know Spider-Man?
We don't have a Spider-Man where I'm from.
Oh.
Oh, we do. Wow, interesting.
We used to.
I'm on it. Wait, used to?
We don't need to have that conversation right now.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any way when you create this portal that you could come along as well, or do you have to stay behind when this portal is being created?
I couldn't fit through the portals that this device makes. If we ever get that device out there up and running, that one can make portals that were big enough for me to go through. But we're far ways from that working.
I think we stand our best chance of taking that earring to America, seeing if she can use it as a focus.
Okay. I was going to see if maybe I could pull her through, but I guess it would probably hurt if I try to pull her through something as small that's fit for us.
Do we know if we need our communicators to jump, or like once one of us calls America, are we all able to kind of walk through? Because if Electra can, she will leave her communicator behind for this version of the Doctor, so that she can maybe try and get in contact with us if we can somehow figure out how to boot it up from the other side.
Okay. I think I know what you're saying. I'm going to attack each part of it one at a time. So the communicators, I might be over explaining this, forgive me. The communicators are to contact America when you want her to bring a portal, or when you need her, right? The communicators aren't for jumping through portals. So is that? Yeah. Okay.
Intended purpose. Then I will definitely, Electra will take her communicator off and say, I know it's tiny. You might not be able to contact us, but if you see it light up, that means that we figured out where you are and help is on the way.
All right.
Whatever tech you use to make that tardigrade as big as you did, try and use it on the computer.
You mean that tardigrade was much bigger when they brought it into this lab.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Maybe you could, I don't know where we are, but there are strange things outside. I hear some strange noises sometimes.
Okay. Have you ever gotten a good look at what's out there?
No.
Would you be willing to take a look at what's out there if you could?
They won't let me near any doors besides the ones that I'm allowed to have access to. But if y'all are tiny, maybe you can fly through some door jams or something. Tell me what's outside before I send you on your way.
Y'all up for a quick field trip?
I could do that.
I'm faster than the rest of you. It'd be easier.
All right, solo mission for you.
Okay.
I'm not gonna fly with him if he's going at full speed. That's suicide mission.
You'll so appreciate it, Captain America. Thank you.
Okay, Usnavi, you're going to make the trip outside?
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Full speed ahead.
All right, so Dr. Angela cracks the bathroom door open, and Usnavi, you zip through it. She closes it behind you, just waiting till you get back. You fly. We kind of have a camera view of you as a little gnat-sized morning star flying through this large facility, past the portal type of device in the middle. And there are these two doors, again with the triangular shape. And above them, you see a familiar logo on the wall, painted on the wall in the crease. Butterfly on either side of this wall. Now you can easily slip through the door. You are small enough to do that. Don't need to make a roll. And when you do, you see a psychedelic, colorful world stretching out for miles and miles around you. This building looks like it came from a universe like your own, but everything around it does not. Looks a lot like what's behind me on the screen. It's a psychedelic red, green, yellows, pinks. in shapes and formations that defy human logic. There's a chaotic type of order and things are moving and shifting. And when you look in different directions, the colors shift and change. Sometimes it's blues and purples and fractals. And then it goes back to those purple splotches, almost like less than living organisms, but there's some type of intelligence to it, some type of intelligent design to it. And then when you look directly above, like up, away from the surface you're standing on, you see huge floating microscopic animals, including tardigrades. And a tardigrade, don't ignore that ship there. A tardigrade floats up over the lab building gently, as if it's underwater and in space at the same time.
I will memorize everything to the best of my ability before leaving.
Okay. You head back in?
Do.
Okay. You head back in. And you get back to the door. You're able to slip through this bathroom door again, too. And Angela kind of, oh, there you are. Okay. What did you see? What's out there?
That's a complicated answer. Don't go outside. Don't go outside. And just don't. There are some questions that you should really be prepared for before you ask them, and I don't think you're ready for it. Just don't go outside.
Are we in outer space or something?
That would make more sense if we were out. That would make much more sense.
Do you need a brave?
Me? No.
Okay, so it looks like us two should be fine. If we go out there, if we need to in the future. Do you need to breathe? Hey, look.
They'll look towards.
I mean, absolutely. I'm not a whatever it is that you are, on top of also being a kid.
Okay.
I don't think breathing is a problem outside. I don't think so.
Oh, are we underwater? No, you said breathing is not a problem. Never mind. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about.
We are
In any case,
probably very small, and then somewhere else. I don't know. I've heard stories of such things, but they were all when I was much younger. I can't tell you too much about it.
I mean, I know we're small. Do you mean Angela is also small?
I don't think we are small. Well, I mean, we are smaller than everyone else, but I think everything is small.
So Angela is small, and then we're even smaller than that. Great. Wonderful. I hate this for us. Can we please go?
Very, very much. Yes, we should leave. Definitely should leave.
Angela holds up the portal prongs. Y'all ready to go back?
We'll be back, we promise.
Yes, we will. You
You're
have
the-
our communicator.
Remember, can you just tell my Lester that I'm all right and I'm coming home to him?
We will. We'll
All
make
right.
sure that happens.
Okay. And before you all leave, she makes sure to get all of your names, because I don't think she did, but she makes sure to get all of your names.
America.
Divinity.
Morning Star.
All right. And she flicks on the portal gun, and you see her almost draw the tiniest blue, well, not for you, tiny, for her tiny blue circle in the air. And as soon as she closes the circle, psst, it zips into activation. That electric blue energy flashes, and it's a perfect little circle that you all can fly through.
So Divinity will take Electra's head, because they presume that Usanabe has Captain America. And they still remember the promise they made, and they'll fly through the portal.
Okay. So you all fly through the portal. And what's on the other side? We will have to find out next time.
I thought we were going home. I guess maybe not.
Oh, it's all random. Where we going?
Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode so far. I mean, not so far. I hope you enjoyed this.
I would like to raise my hand and say this was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
This was a great session. They've all been wonderful, but this was super cool.
Oh, good. Yay. Good.
We were like, honey, I shrunk the kids. I was just like, when you said that, I was just like, oh yeah.
Also, I would like to just give a quick shout for MVP for Knox because all of those scenes were so lovely.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If there is, I will fully admit it. If there is one thing I excel at, it's playing miserable characters. Feel free to look into that as much as you want.
Oh, perfect. So again, we hope you enjoyed this episode. Once again, thank you to this wonderful cast for helping bringing this story to life, and of course, thank you to our viewers because without you, we wouldn't be here. So we're going to go ahead and look to raid someone, and we'll be back next week for our next episode of Marvel's The New Vanguard. But until then, farewell for now.
Bye.